Well, hello everybody and happy Sunday. I know I'm a day late and a dollar short. Sorry I missed last night's date night with Lisa. I had to work and I just couldn't get the video done before I went to work. Um, anyway, it is now Sunday, January 23rd, I think, and we are going to replay, try to do a do-over because I was all set to do it yesterday and then I had to go to work. Um, this is the card that we're going to make tonight. It's using the Blessings of Home stamp set that's in the Spring Mini catalog. And I forgot to bring it with me, so I have the catalog right here. So here it is on page 60. It is really, really pretty. I just love it. It's a real kind of shabby chic looking, and I've used this stamp set quite a bit lately. It's one of my favorites in this catalog, and it's a great one to color. So tonight we're going to do some coloring with the Stampin' Blends, and I hope you guys like to color because it's really fun. And using the Stampin' Blends is pretty much the easiest way to do it, and it's so foolproof because it's hard to mess up with the Stampin' Blends because we have this thing called a color lifter, which is almost like a magic eraser, like that Mr. Clean magic eraser. That's what this kind of is. So if you make a mistake, you can kind of erase it. So let me get my computer going and make sure I am live and see if anybody's watching. Hopefully. Oh my gosh, we've got 17 people already. 18. Wow, that's cool. All right, so let me get that going. So I was at work all last night and then all day today, and I'm telling you what, I'm pooped. Yesterday was not busy though because we had that storm, and I think nobody wanted to go out in the snow yesterday, so we were pretty dead yesterday. But today everybody was out, and they all came to where I work. I almost said it. I try not to say where I work. I just work at an urgent care center, but I don't want to tell you where I work because we're not supposed to say. Because I don't know. That's like I don't know why, but I just don't want to say where I work. But anyway, it's an urgent care center here in the area, and I tell you what, I am just ready for bed tonight. Some of you guys message me sometimes in the comments, and you're like, I don't know when you ever sleep because it seems like you're always working or doing videos or something. And I tell you what, I really feel like that lately because this new supervisor position is wearing me out. But I made this card for a class that I did a couple weeks ago. So I had this like as my spare in case I didn't have time to do a card. So this is actually one that I've been waiting to do because I didn't finish the card that I was getting ready to do yesterday. So you'll get to see that one on the next video because that's a really cool one too. All right, let me say hello to everybody. All right, hello Sharon, Diane, hey, Lois, Danette, Terry, Mary, Deborah, hey, Susan, yay, you're live. Robin from Chile, Delaware. I know it's cold here too. We got snow. I got about 5 inches at my house. And now, well, when I got up this morning to go to work, it was just a sheet of ice everywhere because it kind of melted just a little bit and then froze over overnight. Hey, Melissa, Tina. Hey, Carol. Let's see, Laura. All right. Hey to everybody who's watching. Thank you guys for joining me. We are going to go ahead and... Oh, I got cards to give away. I forgot. All right. So here is winner number 1, Cindy Bonnell. You won this beautiful card. So make sure you send me your address and I'll mail it to you. And next one is Carol Alanis. You won this one, which is using the same stamp set. It's so pretty. This was with the blending brushes I did. And then in the background was that water resist kind of thing I did. And this one is Carolyn Ryan. You won this one. So girls, if you want a card, make sure you send me your address. My email is stampgirl2@cox.net, or you can find it on my YouTube channel in the description box. And also, don't forget, it is celebration time. I know I tell you this every video, but my favorite thing in this whole celebration catalog is this stamp right here, the Calming Camellia. And I love it, love it, love it. So if you want to get that, I just had somebody yesterday actually do an order for $300 just so they could get that stamp set. Actually, I've had a couple people do that. So if you want to get it, you just have to order $300 or get a few friends together and do a $300 order. You'll get 6 free celebration items plus that, plus $36 of free product. So you get a ton of stuff on top of all that, just for ordering. And then also, if you want to sign up this month, we have a joining special. So you can get $125 in product plus any 2 free stamp sets, free shipping, and a free paper pumpkin for 99 bucks. So that's a great deal too. All right, so anything you want to order or sign up for anything, just go to my website, stampingwithlisa.com, and that's the host code. Unless your order's over 150, if your order's over 150, don't use the host code because then you won't get the hostess benefits. All right, so here's what you need. I'll put the card back. 5.5 by 8.5 white. And then 5 1/4 by 4 Misty Moonlight. And I've already embossed this one with the Hive. This is the Hive embossing folder. So one side is like concave and the other side is, what's the other opposite of concave? Convex. It's poking out. So one side is up, raised, and the other side is dipping in. I like the bubbly side better, but supposedly this is the right side. This is the wrong side, but I like this side better. So that's what we're using. And then this is 3 by 4 of the designer paper from Heart and Home. And the scalloped contour die. This is about 2.5 by 3 3/4. It's just slight. It's not exact, but it's approximately that much. Because it depends on where you measure it from, like the outside bubble or the inside. But it's about that much. Because there's, I think, I don't know, 5 in there, maybe 4 or 5 different sizes. This is one of the smaller ones. And so if you want to take a screenshot of that, go ahead and then we will get started. Oh, I'm so ready to lay down. Hey, Audrey. Hey, Mary. Everybody ready? All right, so let's get started. Only thing we have to stamp on is the piece of white scalloped paper, the contour dies. And that set of contour dies is in the big catalog. All right, so what we're going to do first is stamp the flower. And we're using Memento Black, Tuxedo Black. And just tap it on there. Try not to shake the camera. All right, and then what we want to do is put this stem right here in the bottom right corner. So I'm going to just tilt it to the side and boom, lay it down for a sec. All right, so there you go. And then while I still have that that ink pad out, we're going to do the words. And this thank you, I think, is in the same stamp set. I'm pretty sure. And we're going to do that right here next to it. And hopefully I'll get that straight. Yep. All right, so that's it. No more stamping. Oh, unless you want to do the inside. What did I do inside? Nothing. I didn't do the inside. So if you want to do the inside, you could do another set of flowers if you want to. And now we're going to get to coloring. So I've got several of the Stampin' Blends here. We're going to start with the green. So we've got, what is this? Mint Macaron in light and dark. So light and dark. I'm going to start with the light and use the brush tip. And I'm just going to color in most of the leaf with the light. And you don't have to be super perfect because we're going to go back over it in just a minute. I just want to get most of it. Let me do these in the thinner tip. I like doing the stems in the thinner tip because my brush tip has gotten a little bit mushed from doing it, letting people use it in class, because a lot of people, whenever you're using these brush tips, you should always do them like from the side and not from the top, because you'll mess up your tip. So you can kind of see mine's getting a little bit mushy. But if I had a brand new one, see, this one's almost dried out really. Let's use the other end. I need to get a new one. The bullet tip you can kind of press harder if you want to, but you really don't need to, because these are really, you just barely need to touch the paper and the ink comes out on it. Alright, so we're just going around and getting all the leaves first. And we're almost done. All right, now I'm going to go back over that with the darker one. And I like to use the thin tip for this one. So we're using the bullet tip. And I'm just going to go back over like the center and a little bit of where the black marks are. And then maybe just a little bit of the stem. So that's one thing I love about Stampin' Up. They always put these little black areas or shaded areas exactly where you're supposed to put the darker part. So it's easy if you just color like the whole thing light and then just go back over the darker parts with the darker shade. And it's really hard to mess it up. But if you do, you got your magic eraser you can use. So just add a little bit of that dark to each leaf. And there you go. And then I like to just go over it just a little bit with the light again. So we're just going to blend it just a little bit. And it always lightens up after you do it. And once it's totally dry, it's going to look gorgeous. Well, I think it looks gorgeous right now, but it just totally blends everything together perfectly. All right, so there you go. Leaves are done. So we're done with the green. Now we're going to go to the blue. So for the blue, I just want to color these teeny little flowers, but I don't want them really dark. And I have the light Misty Moonlight, and I'm just going to use the tiny tip, and I'm just going to dab color on here. I'm not going to actually like color the whole thing in. I'm just going to kind of like dab it a little bit and just put a little bit of blue in there. So I'm not like really pressing hard. I'm just like touching it a little bit just to get some color in there. And then I'm just going to take, so here, I'll hold it up. So you can see I didn't color the whole entire thing and I left some white, and then we're going to take the color lifter and go over it and just kind of blend it out a little bit, and that'll lighten it up and kind of blend it together. So I'm just coloring that whole thing. So they'll kind of look a little bit faded and they'll blend them together. So that's what it looks like when you finish. Then we're going to do the big ones. So for the big ones, I started with the light again. So we're going to take the light one and color the whole thing. And I don't really think it matters which direction you go. I got a piece of fuzz on there. I always go like just kind of in circles when I do the original one, and then I kind of go back over these lines straight out. Alright, so I hope you guys had a great weekend, and I think a lot of us got snow this weekend. At least most of the East Coast did. And it was super duper cold and windy. But I have a little funny story about what happened, because, well, it's kind of funny and a little freaky too. I got two stories. Alright, so that's the light. Actually, I want to put a little bit in the middle too. So we'll just do a little bit in the center. So the whole thing is light right now. Then I'm going to go back over with the bullet tip over the darker areas. Alright, so I had to work Friday night, and that's when the snow kind of first started, and we got, actually it snowed, I guess during the day Friday a little bit, and then it stopped a little while. Then Friday night is when it really, really snowed a lot. So I got home about, I don't know, 9 o'clock maybe. And it had already snowed maybe a little bit, an inch or two. And so I got home and I backed my car in the driveway. And I always put my windshield wipers up, you know, off the windshield so they won't like freeze down and you can scrape it off easier. And somebody at work said they had a towel they were going to put on their windshield, because there was this thing on Amazon that you can put across your windshield and hook to your rear view mirrors. And then if it snows, you just like lift it off and all the snow comes off. But I didn't have that, so I was like, I'm going to try a towel. So I put the towel on there, and it was kind of windy out, but I just let it sit for a few minutes and checked it. And after it sat for a few minutes, then it was getting like really wet from the snow, and it was getting heavier, so it worked great because it stayed there the whole time. So um, I went in the house and got in my pajamas, watched TV for a little bit. So then I get ready to go to bed and it's like 11. And I go look out the front window to see how much snow we had gotten. And this was the creepy part. I look out the front window and there's footsteps, like men's footprints, coming from the street up to like the center of my yard, maybe about 6 feet from my front door. And then they stop. And there was no footprints going the other way. They were only coming from the street to that point. So it looked like somebody had walked up in my yard, stood looking at my front door, and then flew away because there was no footprints anywhere else going. And it was clear because the snow was already, you know, like 2 or 3 inches by that point. And it was the strangest thing. And I said, well, maybe I'm just looking at it funny. So I go around to the front door, open the front door, got on the porch. And yes, it's clear there's men's footprints going from the street to a little bit, you know, almost to my front door. And then it just stops. And there's no turning. There's nothing. Just one set of footprints. And I said, okay, this is super creepy because somehow somebody came in my yard and walked up to that point and then just evaporated into thin air. And I don't know what happened, but it kind of freaked me out. And then I had a hard time going to sleep because I was like, okay, this is really creepy that there'd be somebody out there like a peeping Tom. And I live at the end of a court, and it's very, very quiet. And, I mean, nobody comes down our street that doesn't live down here. And since it was like snowing, and I have a street light right in front of my house, so it's really bright out. And, I mean, it was just as clear as day, these footprints, and it was so strange. And, of course, when I woke up in the morning, they were gone because the snow had covered it, but it was totally weird because the footprints, when I looked out then and saw those, my footprints from the driveway were gone. So it had snowed enough to cover mine over by the car, but not the ones in the front yard. So that means somebody was there between like 9 and 11. So that really freaked me out, but I never did figure that part out. But then here's the funny thing. So let me just go over. So I'm going to take the color lifter and I'm going to go back over this part and just kind of add a little bit of white in there and then make the center a little bit more white because I want the center kind of white. And, oh, I haven't been reading comments. Hold on, let me go back and look at comments. Deborah, Deborah, let's see, how funny, switch to my phone and can watch iPad favorite. Oh, good, your phone was messing up, I mean, your iPad was messing up or something, your computer. Hey, Linda, hey, Terry, technology, gotta love it. My Facebook is acting up, gotta catch you on YouTube. Oh, sorry, Melissa. Hi, Therese from Australia, you're having a summertime down there. Facebook is freezing, that's not good. 4 inches of snow in Wisconsin. Wow. I couldn't believe we got so much. It was the kids kidding you. Walked up and back in the same steps. It was not kids' prints though. It was like a man's footprint. It wasn't kids. I don't know. And we don't even have any kids in my street. It's all like mostly older people. I mean, there's a couple little kids, but I mean they're little, like 5, 6 something. I know, it's so weird. I know, I thought about that. Did they walk backwards? But it didn't look like it. It looked like just one set going forwards. I mean, they would have had to exactly walk backwards in their exact same steps to have it look like that, but it was weird. Unless they backed up. Yeah, because I thought about that, but I looked at them and it did not look like it was messed up or anything. It looked like perfect footprints all the way up there, and then it just disappeared. Alright, so this is just going to take off a little bit of color. Oh, we're going to tell you the funny part the next day. So, alright, and as that dries, it'll fade out a little bit more. Alright, so then we're going to put it together and do some bling on it. So we've got, let me put my card in front. Alright, so we're going to do this part first, and you can do it either way with the bubbles upside down or regular. Put some green glue whenever you use the embossed part. and put that down. And you got to hold it for an extra minute because it's got all those pockets from the holes. Alright, so here's the funny part. So I had to go to work. Luckily, I didn't have to work Saturday morning. I had to work Saturday afternoon. So I had a little bit of time, but I wanted to go out there and clean my car off and clean the drive, somewhere for me to walk to the car and clean the walkway and everything off. Because when I leave for work, I have my scrubs on and my tennis shoes, so I didn't want to have to walk through the snow. And so I go out there, and the first thing I did was grab the towel off the windshield, and I just pulled it. My windshield was beautiful, but then I started scraping off the side of the car and, doing it. I actually took the towel and kind of was wiping it with the towel, and that actually worked pretty well. And then I got the shovel out, the snow shovel, and I was going to shovel, and I was like, man, this snow is like really light and fluffy. It's not like heavy snow. Sometimes it's really heavy, but this was real powdery, light snow, and I said, you know what? I bet I could blow this with the blower, the leaf blower, and it would work because it was really light. And darn if it didn't work. I got that leaf blower out, and I just blew my whole car off in like 2 minutes. And then I said, well, let me see if it works on the sidewalk. And I just kind of went out there like boom, 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 back and forth, and the whole sidewalk was clear. And then I said, well, dang. I tried it around my car, but it didn't work because I'd already been walking all around it, so I'd kind of pressed it down so it wouldn't work on that part. So I did shovel that a little bit. But the funny thing was, I was out there blowing it, and so I did my whole car and the whole walkway in probably less than 5 or 10 minutes. And when I turned the blower off, I looked up, and there was 2 guys like diagonal across the street, 2 different neighbors of mine. They were out there shoveling the driveway, and they had been out there since long before I came outside. And they were both just standing there looking at me like, are you kidding me? We could have been doing that the whole time and saved all that back work and shoveling and just use a blower. It's like they were just dumbfounded that I had done that and in like no time flat. And they had been out there working for like half an hour doing their driveway. It was hysterical. I was laughing so hard. I said, well, women's ingenuity came up with an easy solution. So I only had to shovel for about 2 minutes just to make a little path from the garage to my car door. All the rest I did with the blower. And that towel thing worked great. So I will definitely try that again and maybe order the one on Amazon that covers the windshield, because that was the bomb. Alright, so we're going to put this on, and this is going to go pretty much straight. And then we're going to put a little bit, well, let's do the ribbon first. So I've got a bow, I've got some linen thread, and then I've got this ribbon, which is in the Spring Mini. You get a pack of this one, which is Petal Pink, and also a Misty Moonlight. It's a 2-pack. And I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's a 2-pack together. That's in the Spring Mini. So we're going to take these 2 together and just make a little bow. Nothing fancy today. Oops, I got a glue dot on there. Let's cut that off. Okay. So we're just going to make a little loop, tie around, just like you tie your shoes, and boom. So, most of you guys know I became the supervisor at work a few weeks ago, and they just contacted me today about starting my training. And I said, you know, I've been the supervisor for 3 weeks now. I pretty much know how to do everything now. It's a little late for you to start training me. And she's like, well, there's probably still a lot of things you don't know how to do, and blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, whatever. She said it's like 21 hours of training. I said, I don't have 21 hours to spare. Unless you get somebody to cover my shifts. Alright, so that looks pretty good. And then we're just going to trim that up. And put that down. Oops. And use a glue dot for that. Oops. I need to read my comments. Audrey says, I hope your door was locked. Maybe he's hiding in your house. No, I don't think so. I mean, it literally looked like he'd just flown away because there was nothing. It was really freaky. I should have called the police and asked them to check the perimeter. No. I don't know. It was just weird. It was almost like, I don't know. Just very strange. But I wasn't scared because, I don't know. I feel like my street is so safe. I mean, just nobody ever comes down here. And it's just a really quiet neighborhood and mostly older people. I mean, we have hardly any kids around here. Really no teenagers at all. There's some little kids, but I don't see any teenagers around here, or you never really hear much about anything. Alright, so there's that. Then we're going to put some gems on here. So I've got the polished dots. It almost was like aliens or something. I know that's not true, but I don't know. It was just very strange. Let's see. You're lucky the towel didn't freeze to the window. I know, it didn't freeze at all though. I mean, it just lifted right off. The towel was like hard as a rock. I mean, it had frozen, but it just pulled right off with the snow on it. All right, we're going to put a few of these on here. Diane says you thought you remembered this card from class. I know, it does look familiar, doesn't it? It is the same card. I hadn't done this one yet, so I've been holding on to this one in case I needed a spare to go real fast. Alright, so there's some pretty little gems, and then we're going to have to spank Stella tonight. Stella's going to get a spanking. Got to put some bling on here. Alright, so let me get something to hit Stella with. Oh, look. I hope you guys can see that. It's so pretty. I got glitter everywhere. I'll hold it up and see if you can see it. Can you see the sparkle? It's so pretty. I'm trying to tilt it and look at the camera. I mean, look at the computer at the same time. See if I can see it. So pretty. Darn, I can't really see it on the camera though. It's so pretty. Hey, Talara. All right, what do you guys think? You like it? It's a pretty simple card. If I didn't talk, I probably could have done it in like 5 minutes. I got to do that yakking though, you know. I got to yak while I'm talking. Got to do the chit chat. Welcome to Spankin' Stella Sunday. Yep. Thanks, Lisa. Thanks, Terry. Thanks, Angie. All right, you guys, that's it for Sunday night with Lisa. Date night with Lisa on Sunday. I will be back on Tuesday, hopefully, if everything goes well. I've got classes in the morning, and then I am maybe supposed to work 3 to 10, so I'm going to have to squeeze it in early, I think. It all depends. My schedule's so wishy-washy right now because of being the supervisor now, but hopefully I'll see you on Tuesday with something really good. I was working on it yesterday. I just didn't have time to finish, so it should be something really pretty. And you guys have an awesome day. Oops, I got another big comment I missed. Therese says, might be a quiet street. Wait a minute. Things are moving and safe, but you can't be too careful. Yeah, until just before Christmas, somebody broke in and took all your keys. Oh my gosh, when you were asleep. And took your car and burned it out and you didn't hear a thing. Oh my God, that would freak me out so bad. Was your door locked? I always lock all my doors at night, and all my windows are locked, all my doors. I bought a Ring doorbell thing, but I still haven't hooked it up yet because I haven't had anybody to do it for me, but I think I better get that Ring camera thing. All right. Have a bat. Angie says, get a bat. I know. I don't know. I guess I'm just too trustworthy or something. I feel like nobody would do anything to me, but I guess that's being stupid, but I don't know. All right. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, what's left of it, and I'll be back in a couple days. Bye-bye.